Welcome back to the Weirdly Amused. Today we are doing our CEDH games, and I don't usually play CEDH, but Noah is a huge advocate for CEDH. So I do not own any CEDH decks, so unfortunately I am using proxies. But I made a couple decks, and today I'm going to be running because I play Anala quite a bit, and Noah's always saying, "Why don't you just play Kess?" Because I know she's better, and so I'm bringing Kess, and I'm bringing Kess Storm. We're going to see how it goes. I've never played CEDH before. I've play tested it, but never with actual people. So this is my first CEDH game. We're going to see how it goes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then I'm not familiar with a lot of the CEDH decks. I do know that Noah's bringing Hot Fire, and I know this deck personally. And then Pawnee as well. I've played with a casual deck against the CEDH deck, so I do know what he's playing as well. But then we have a new guest today, and he's actually going to have a couple links down in the description as well. Definitely follow him. He does a D&D cast, and he also does Twitch streams. It's a friend of ours. He should introduce himself. Is our friend Chris. But there will be some links in the description as well. And he's bringing a really fun storm deck as well too. So there are going to be two storm decks here, and then Noah's bringing.
Yes, I am bringing my joy, my baby, Najila. I actually just had a CDH tournament with this over our local LGS, the Warp Gate. I think it was a week ago from time of recording, actually. I went 1-2. Could have potentially been 2-1. I just made a very big misplay. Game one, me and my opponent both did. We let a Morrowind, the Nurturer, resolve a Staff of Domination with the guy's Cradle Elf on the field. We just didn't realize. Like, mana, okay, you're good. And he's like, that one loop? Oh. Yeah.
Oh no.
That works. The sad part is that we both had ways of stopping this, and neither of us just tried. We're just counting, doing some math in our head. Yeah, that's fine. I don't math. Math is for bad people. That's why I play Najila. 1, 2, a million. Yeah, you're dead.
So Nijila, which I've played against, and he's hurt me bad with it.
Oh.
So I'm not excited for how fast that is. I play tested Kess. I think
He knows how fast Kess is.
Mm-hmm.
Skipping time here. This call him King Crimson. Yeah. For all you JoJo's fans out.
Now, and then who did Pawnee bring again? He's brought partner commanders.
Yes, Pawnee's bringing Silas Wren and Rogak, son of Rogok.
Yes.
He's playing that Grixis Turbo Nas stratagem. I love it. Phenomenal. It's going to be really fun, really fast. I'm going to cast a bunch of spells, draw my deck, and win. And then Chris is bringing his personal favorite, Idris, Maelstrom Wielder. You want to talk about fast. If Idris connects, the game is usually over. I don't think I've ever seen him whiff on this. It just smack it. Ta-da! I win.
It's pretty weird because we met Chris at work together and we used to play on lunch all the time, and I just remember him wiping the floor with us at lunch often.
Yeah,
with this Idris deck. He's had it for a while, and he tunes it every once in a while when new stuff comes out. Like he was really excited for Profane Command and everything, or not Command, Profane Tutor and everything. And so yeah, he's worked on this deck very well. It's definitely got a lot of pieces, and Chris has been playing since the beginning, and his family played since the beginning. So he's got a lot of good cards and everything. He's got a lot of the OG stuff, so he's been able to put a lot into this deck.
Yeah, a lot of his duels are actual duels, not like our proxies, but if you got them, play them. All the power to you. But that being the case, let's get into this game and see what kind of fun we're going to do. And maybe, just maybe, get a little treat at the end.
Maybe.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another wonderful day of CEDH shenanigans. Turn 1, starting it off, Chris plays a Wooded Foothills, cracks it, taking 1 for a Bayou. He then casts a Dark Ritual, getting 3 black mana. He uses this mana to chain together a Gruul Signet into a Dimir Signet and passes the turn. I start my turn by playing a Tropical Island and tapping it for a Utopia Sprawl, naming red. With that out of the way, I pass. Tony starts his turn with Volcanic Island and casts Rograk. He then passes. Dakota plays a Training Center and then follows it up with a Mana Crypt. He taps out for a Rhystic Study and casts a Gitaxian Probe by paying 2 life. He targets Chris with a probe, and Chris reveals a lotus petal, a crop rotation, a forest, and an island. With that done, Dakota passes to Chris. Turn 2. Chris untaps, plays the forest, and casts his commander, Yidris Maelstrom Wielder. Unable to pay for Risk Study, Dakota draws a card. Chris then passes. I play a Scalding Tarn, tapping my tropical island to play a Felwar Stone, then cracking the Scalding Tarn to fetch a Tundra to cast Swords of Plowshares on Yidris. Since I only paid once for Ristic Study, Dakota draws a card and I pass. Tony draws and plays a Mana Confluence, and then taps out to cast a Demonic Tutor, and Dakota draws off Ristic Study. Finding his card, Tony casts Mana Crypt, then a Felwar Stone, before passing. Dakota draws 2 more cards, then starts his turn. Dakota untaps, makes a Mana Crypt save, and plays a City of Brass. He goes to his instep and discards an Arid Mesa and an Exotic Orchard. On to turn 3. Chris untaps, plays an island, and passes. I untap, play a Jeweled Lotus, paying the 1. I use Lotus to cast Najeela, also paying the 1, and then tap out to cast a Vexing Shusher, not paying for Ristic Study. With that, I pass the turn. Pony untaps, loses the Mana Crypt flip, and casts a Wheel of Misfortune, paying the 1. Dakota responds with a Vampiric Tutor. We all secretly pick numbers, and I pick the highest at 12, while Dakota and Pony tap for the lowest at 3. This being the case, I lose 12 life, Chris wheels into a new 7, and Dakota and Pony do nothing. Dakota then starts his turn by playing a Flooded Strand, cracks it and fetches an Underground Sea, and then taps out for an Adnaz. Shockingly, this goes through and Dakota begins to dig for cards. He shows an Underworld Breach, Minoic Betrayal, Grinding Station, Mystics of Mastery, Marsh Flats, Grim Monolith, Spire of Industry, Peer into the Abyss, Sunken Ruins, and a Phantasmal Image. He stops there and goes to discard. He pitches Peer, Mnemonic Trail, Demir Signet, Mystical Tutor, Wheel of Misfortune, Windfall, and Spire of Industry. On to turn 4, Chris starts his turn by playing a Command Tower and casts a Notion Thief, paying for Risk Study, and passes to me. I cast a Noble Hierarch and follow it up with a Lightning Bolt to ping Dakota for 3, and then attack him for 5 with Najeela and her token, putting him to a total of 7. Tony starts his turn by losing the Mana Crypt trigger and plays a tapped Watery Grave, and then casts a Talisman of Dominance and Silas Wren before passing to Dakota. Dakota untaps and casts Underworld Breach, follows it up with a Grinding Station, and presents a loop of sacrificing Mana Crypt to mill his deck to make a lot of colorless mana till he mills a Lion's Eye Diamond. This gives him blue mana, and he plays a Thassa's Oracle with no cards in his deck for the win. All right, we'll go into intro 2.
We okay? Okay, cool.
Yeah, intro for your Tevish Thrasios, and then we'll do one giant outro at the
Okay.
All right, ready? Rolling that in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the newbies got game. He did that pretty well. I would say, pretty masterfully. I can't find anything wrong with that. My ideas on the Wheel of Misfortune were unfortunate, but that's
You paid so much. I wasn't expecting that. Like, oh yeah, 18.
okay. I paid 12,
Like,
but in my defense, I'm not running Adnaz, so I don't care what my life is.
that
I was
was that
saying,
was hilarious.
I was like, okay, Chris isn't playing Adnaz. He doesn't care. You guys are both playing Adnaz, so you guys are probably going to go low. I'm just going to take the middle ground, and me and Chris will duke it out.
That was pain. It was a little upsetting. I'm kind of glad though because I didn't want him to control the wheel. So I was happy that it happened. I wasn't going to matter either way if he wheeled or I wheeled, but I'm really glad that happened. That he and I, both the two people that both really rely on that, didn't do it. And I think that helped me a lot. So honestly, you paying a small fortune into that helped.
I mean,
Um,
it is what it is. It happens. But that
oh
being the case, we got, as you can tell by the timestamp on below, we got a bit of chunk of change left. So what's that going to be for? Well, that's for game 2.
yes,
Game 2, same decks except for one exception. Dakota's going to try out a new brew. So Dakota, take it away.
yes. So I printed out multiple CEDH decks. I want to learn them. I am going to put Kess away. She lit up. She came out guns blazing. She did everything that I needed her to do and more. And so we're going to go somewhere that I've never been before because I've played Control before. I've kind of played, Kess. It's more my play style in Magic. So we're going to go Tevish and Thrasios mid range. We're going to see if I know what I'm doing here. And it'll be fun. I've play tested this deck a couple times. I'm still not sure of all of the win cons in the deck. I know like two of them for sure. So let's see if I can figure out any other ones while we're playing this game and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, you did great the first time. What's the worst that could happen, right?
yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Turn 1, Chris starts off with a Mana Crypt into a Cruel Signet. He plays a Lotus Petal and a Polluted Delta, which he cracks for an Underground Sea. He casts a Ponder, shuffling before his draw, and casts a Sleight of Hand. With all that done, he passes. Tony starts by playing a Mox Diamond, pitching an Underground River. He then plays a Bloodstained Mire, which he cracks for an Underground Sea, and casts a Demonic Tutor. He finds his card and casts Rogak in a Mana Crypt. He then plays a Talisman of Dominance and passes. On that note, I play a Polluted Delta and I pass. Dakota plays a Jeweled Lotus and a Lion's Eye Diamond, cracking them both before discarding his hand. He casts Tevish Zot and makes two 0/1 Thralls before passing. Turn 2, Chris plays a Bayou and casts Yidris before passing. On his instep, I crack my Delta to fetch an Underground Sea and cast a Chain of Vapor on Pony's Mox Diamond and attempt to set him back on colored mana. Pony untaps and loses the Mana Crypt save before playing a Marsh Flats, cracking it for a Badlands. He casts a Dark Ritual and casts a Peer into the Abyss. Drawing half his deck and losing half its life, he replays the Mox Diamond, then a Rite of Flame before casting an Underworld Breach. He then plays his LED and cracks it, discarding his giant handful of cards. He shows the Brain Freeze to mill the rest of his deck and loops LED and Brain Freeze until he can cast Thassa's Oracle and win.
Well, we found out what the worst that could happen was. You kept a 0 land hand.
Dude, that was so good though. Come on. Like I'm not even mad. Like that was hilarious. I was so hoping I'd draw into a land. Cast both the commanders on turn one, but no.
Sure,
And I even kept one that made me discard my whole hand. So I literally got Tevish out and it was like, we'll spray and pray. We'll see where this goes.
if you look at your deck list, you're probably running like 29 to 30 lands. You're not drawing a land if you don't think you can.
I know.
This
Oh,
one's
that was
called
fun
Growing
though.
Pains, but it's okay. You live and learn. You're trying out CEDH. You have some cool flashy cards. We didn't know the game was going to end on turn 2, or in some people's cases, turn 1.5. I didn't even get a second turn. But congrats to
It
Pony.
was
Casting a Peer into the Abyss turn 2 and nobody interacting with it. Yeah.
yeah, that was hot. I was very jealous. It already cast like a lot of cards from his deck, so he got like 45 cards off of that. That was hot. It was very good.
Yeah.
He won with this one of the same combos as mine, but like he didn't do the grindstone. He did.
He did the better version. It's more streamlined for him. You have the
Yeah.
combo and cast too, but regardless, like when you see a third tutor resolve for the turn, you're like, all right, we're in trouble. But like
Mhm.
my hand was Mana Dorks and Interaction. I just didn't get a chance to have a chance. I was like, all right, I'm gonna Chain of Vapor his Mox Diamond because I thought he was gonna go for an Ad Nause. And by removing the Mox Diamond, he loses one of his colored sources, which it hurts and it helps because now in order to play it, he has to have a second land. But it didn't matter. He's like, I don't need Mox Diamond. Here into the Abyss. Okay.
And I
GG's.
discarded 3 counter spells that were all free.
GG's. Let's go on to game 2.
Yeah.
But that was game 2. So that's what that was. It was fun. It was wacky. That's that CDH speed we like to see. But yeah, game 1 though. Game 1. Yeah. Turned it out real nice.
Game 1 was super fun. Game 2 was a little weird. I basically threw that game away.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Idris has almost no interaction in it. Najila has limited interaction. I have to have mana for it.
Yeah.
And you were packing like all of the free counter spells. We were relying on you to interact there, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
But that being the
I
case,
messed up
guys,
though.
you saw the CDH. It was fun. It was entertaining. If you guys want to hop in on games yourself, join the Discord. Link in the description down below. We will be recording games usually every Thursday. CDH we try and sprinkle in there occasionally. We don't want all CDH or all Commander. But if you just want to play games with people and not record, go ahead and just put them out there. We have a channel for that. Go ahead and just say, hey, looking for a game. In chat channel number X, Y, or Z. Go ahead and hop in there, play some games, have a good time. If you guys have any
And
suggestions of decks to play, drop them below. Maybe you guys can come on the show with us.
absolutely, yeah. And we're looking at casual next. So let us know if you are interested in being on the episode because we've got a casual game coming up. We also have a CEDH game coming up after that. I did make another deck, and also eventually I'm gonna give Tevish and Thrasios a real chance. Like I'm gonna learn the deck and play it right. Not the humiliating thing that I did today. That was so bad.
That was growing pains.
I hope I hear some stuff about that. I deserve to hear some backlash for that, like a lot, because that was bad. That was so bad.
Yeah, that hair was weaker than your hairline.
Oh, whoa, hey man, this is a full hairline. What are you talking about?
I give it
Take
like
off
3
the hat.
years.
Take it out the hat. Yeah,
Take off the
yeah.
hat.
You don't want none. You don't want none. You see that? You see that? Look at that. You can move this around. See it all. Yeah.
It is what
We-
it is. Who cares? But yeah, guys, like, comment, follow, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff. We will see you guys next time. Thank you all for watching the Weirdly Amused.